Welcome to El Zonte, known as Bitcoin Beach. This little surf town on the coast of El Salvador is one of the first to go full crypto. Yep, you heard that right. Everything from groceries to coffee to salaries and community projects can be paid for using Bitcoin.
It's actually been crazy how fast it has caught on and how useful Bitcoin's been for everyday people.
Just to buy something as simple as a cup of coffee can be done quickly, painlessly.
The town of 3000 has never had a bank. Now their only ATM buys and sells Bitcoin, and nearly 90% of households interact with the currency regularly. Since this video was shot, El Salvador has become the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender.
Next week, I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador.
But how did El Salvador, a country where 70% of the population is unbanked, become the first country to use Bitcoin as legal tender? Mike Peterson, one of the leaders at Bitcoin Beach Project, says it all started in 2019 when an anonymous American donor got in touch through their evangelical Christian church.
The donor wanted to remain anonymous. He didn't want any credit for things. He wants to see Bitcoin used in real ways. He doesn't want to give to organizations that are just going to convert it to fiat. And they as an organization really believe that most of the benefit of what they're trying to do would be by seeding Bitcoin economies throughout the world.
That's when Peterson drafted a plan to create a Bitcoin economy and recruited a small staff of El Zonte residents.
We had a timeline, and we're at like year 3 right now when we're only halfway, 18 months into it. Part of that was kind of sped up by the pandemic of all things.
When El Salvador's tourism industry and El Zonte's economy collapsed, Peterson started making monthly transfers of about $35 in Bitcoin to 500 families around town.
During that time, people couldn't go out of their homes to work. A lot of people were starting to go hungry. And so we kind of used some of the resources we had to start sending Bitcoin to the majority of the families in El Zonte and teaching the stores how to accept Bitcoin, which helped the stores to be able to stay in business and keep their employees on, but it also allowed the people to remain fed.
Maria del Carmen, the owner of a tiny pizza eatery, says she was skeptical about storing money on her phone. Now, Bitcoin accounts for as much as half of her roughly $45 a day in sales.
Y luego fui viendo la ganancia de Bitcoin y ahora pues siento de que la moneda virtual es algo pues muy efectivo, y por eso yo pienso de que las personas que no conocen de Bitcoin deberían de empezar a ver si pueden intentarlo también como lo intenté yo.
Enzo Rubio, owner of Breakpoint Cafe, never thought twice about crypto until his customers asked him about it within the first week of his opening.
And he showed me the app. We downloaded it. In 3 minutes I had the app, the wallet in my phone, and he paid me my first cappuccino on Bitcoin.
Shops in town price everything in dollars. Whether the underlying transaction is in Bitcoin or not, a cappuccino always costs $3.50, even if Bitcoin's value has just jumped or dropped. In this way, it behaves more like a token than a currency.
What was in my mind at that point was, what am I going to do with it? Am I losing my money? Did I give coffee for free? And now, whatever I get on Bitcoin is I keep it as savings.
That brings the risk of volatility into play. Since mid-April, Bitcoin has lost nearly half of its value, and the International Monetary Fund has warned that crypto assets can pose significant risks. Mike's team is preparing residents for an extended down cycle by moving some holdings into US dollars or making large purchases now, while prices are high.
Obviously, Bitcoin has been trending up during the time of this, the project, and we understand that might not always be the case. But we found that people actually, they learn really quickly how to ride volatility, how to adjust, how to think, which funds am I putting aside for 10 years where I'm not really worried about it, which funds are for next week, so I need to move it into dollars to be able to make a dollar-denominated payment. And it's actually been much less of an issue than we initially anticipated.
Although locals were skeptical at first, many feel saved by the implementation of crypto in their community.
O sea, el Bitcoin ha impactado mucho al Zonte y la verdad que ha generado bastante empleo también para muchas personas locales
Nosotros contamos con nuestros dineros en nuestras manos, nuestros teléfonos, y es mejor.
Y hasta el día de ahora Bitcoin está cambiando la vida de muchas personas en diferentes áreas como educación, deporte, economía, espiritual y nada, una comunidad muy cambiada.
A todos, sin restricción de nadie, a toda la comunidad se le dio víveres y gracias a eso yo siento que ha cambiado la vida de los habitantes de acá del Zonte.
El Salvador's Bitcoin law will come into effect on September 7th.